This is David Russell, Global Head of Market Strategy for TradeStation. And today we'll look at major events for investors and traders. Chip stocks like NVIDIA led the market to new highs last earnings season. The opposite could be happening this time. The Philadelphia Semiconductor Index fell more than 9% between Friday, April 12th and Friday, April 19th. It was the index's biggest weekly drop in almost 2 years and dragged the broader S&P 500 down by 3%. The NASDAQ 100, dominated by large growth companies like NVIDIA, Apple, and Tesla, fell the most in 11 months. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing lowered guidance, and ASML's bookings missed forecasts. While neither company is actively traded in the US, both are major players in the global chip industry. A bigger hit came on Friday after Supermicro Computers failed to raise its outlook. News like that, from such an important supplier of AI devices, triggered even more selling across the technology sector. Other major growth companies also fell. Tesla, which reports earnings tomorrow afternoon, slid on a Deutsche Bank downgrade and Cybertruck recall. Apple hit the lowest price since last May on worries about iPhone demand. Netflix also dropped after announcing it would stop reporting subscriber numbers. Next, Federal Reserve officials suggested that interest rates might stay higher for longer. Chair Jerome Powell said recent data hasn't given them greater confidence that inflation is slowing. Raphael Bostic of the Atlanta Fed suggested a single rate cut might occur. Even Stan Goolsbee, a vocal dove in late 2023, said high shelter costs could make it hard to see a smooth path back to their 2% inflation goal. Retail sales also grew by twice the expected amount in March and were revised higher for February. The International Monetary Fund even raised its forecast for growth this year, in part because of strength in the United States. All that news further diminished hopes of interest rate cuts. CME's FedWatch tool now suggests markets anticipate a single move late this year. That's a big difference from the 5 to 7 reductions expected in December and the 3 anticipated last month. Still, the Dow Jones managed to bounce despite broad sell-offs in technology and the NASDAQ 100. Utilities, consumer staples, financials, and healthcare also advanced. Airlines were the strongest group after United Airlines and Alaska Air beat estimates. United Health also rebounded from a 2.5-year low on strong results. Aside from semiconductors, biotech, software, and home builders were some of the big decliners last week. Overall, the market is showing signs of a shift towards so-called value stocks and away from growth. That's potentially consistent with the pattern in 2022 as investors brace for higher interest rates. And now let's chart the market. The S&P 500 is in the midst of its longest losing streak since October 2022 after falling for 6 straight sessions. The index tried to hold the March 5th low of 50.57 last week before declining to 49.47. That was its lowest level and its first close below 5,000 since February 21st. Traders may next watch the weekly lows of 49.46 and 49.20 for potential support. Below that is the January 31st low of 48.45. While investors may want to buy the pullback, they could also wait for more evidence of the short-term downtrend stopping. They could also keep watching the yield on the 10-year Treasury note. It paused last week at an important level from the first half of November, but it might be in a longer-term uptrend. Some investors may wait for signs of yields peaking before wanting to buy stocks again. And now let's turn to the coming week. Two economic events could have a big impact on sentiment. Gross domestic product on Thursday and PCE inflation on Friday. 3 of the market's $6 trillion companies also report earnings: Meta Platforms, Microsoft, and Alphabet. Today's big names include Verizon Communications and Cadence Design. General Electric, General Motors, Tesla, and Visa are some of the big names tomorrow. New home sales are also due. Wednesday's roster includes Boeing in the morning and META after the closing bell. Other items include durable goods orders and crude oil inventories. Thursday morning brings the government's initial reading of gross domestic product, or GDP, in the first quarter. It also includes some inflation data, so can have a major impact on interest rates. Initial jobless claims are also due. The afternoon features results from Microsoft and Alphabet. The PCE or Personal Consumption's Expenditures Index, as on Friday morning. It's another important reading of inflation. ExxonMobil and Chevron report earnings as well. Thanks for watching. Please visit tradestation.com for more.